Hello guys, Vizarish here bringing you another Total War Warhammer replay with commentary. For today's battle we are playing as forces of Khorne, who are being led by an exalted bloodthirster in the air with his awesome looking axe and whip. Is he going? Yeah, he's doing the fire breath thing. And we're going against one of the hardest matchup that Khorne can have, the Nurgle, with their really strong and buffed exalted plague bearers of Nurgle. These guys got, I think, around 100 to 150 gold buff, so that's just insane, I have to say. But yeah, that's why we have some plans in the work. We have some exalted bloodletters. These guys are pretty strong. We also have some spawn of Khorne. These guys also have insane amount of weapon strength and okay melee attacks. So yeah, we have some plans. We have some schemes in the work. Let's see how we perform in this matchup. So let's talk about the armies. Play the game in normal speed. For my armies, I have 2 exalted bloodletters of Khorne, Chaos Warrior of Khorne. We also have Spawn of Khorne, 2 cultists of Khorne, which are both on the horse. I wanted some character killing power. These guys have a lot. Nurgle units don't have a lot of armor, so yeah, those guys are fine. The exalted bloodthirster is pretty strong, I have to say. He has his flaming attacks, magical attacks, and that means he's gonna be able to do some damage. But Nurgle is not without any schemes as well. These guys have a lot of abilities. For my opponent's army, I'm seeing 2 exalted plague bearers, beasts of Nurgle, 2 cultists of Nurgle. One of them is on horse. We already talked about the beast. My opponent also summoned a unit of exalted plague bearers, which are pretty strong. So yeah, these points are gonna be hell to grab onto. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to see if I can find any openings, go after any units. Let's see the spells here. The Blight Swarm ability, Steam of Corruption, Curse of the Leper, Fleshy Abundance. The rest are the passive stuff that exalted Great Unclean One can bring. So the cultists go after the Beast of Nurgle. I have to say they're gonna do a lot of damage here. We're going to be fine. The exalted bloodletters are going to fight the exalted plague bearers. So yeah, we find some decent engagements here. Our Khorne warriors, Chaos Warriors of Khorne, are fighting the exalted unclean one. I sent some spawn to deal with them, but my opponent had summoned some spawn, so I'm just bringing these guys to counteract. We got some decent engagement here. We're going for a flank here. By the way, my opponent is another YouTuber by the name of Senpai Torpedo, if I'm not mistaken. He's an avid RTS player, so yeah, he's a really good player. We have played against each other in Warhammer 2 as well. So overall, it does look good for me. The cultists have been dealt with. The Beast of Nurgle is also done. The Greater Demon is going for the caster, but unfortunately he's doing his humping animation. He could have killed 2 or 3 spawns by now. Some Flesh Hounds joining the battle, some Chaos Warhounds going for the objective number 1. These guys have infantry size, so they're gonna be able to capture points pretty decently. We're trying to deal with whatever our opponent throws at us. We have done a lot of damage to this exalted plague bearer. The other one is gone, I think. Yeah, I'm just seeing one. The Flesh Hounds are going for the cultist here. The other one is running away, but I really need to chase these guys. These spawn of Nurgle are gonna be a problem here. So I summoned some exalted bloodletters to go after the exalted plague bearers. We're gonna see some decent fight here, but unfortunately some Chaos Furies are trying to interrupt this duel. Khorne is not going to be pleased here. Chaos Warriors of Khorne with their 28 speed trying to join the fray here, go after the Furies, but with that I don't think the Exalted Bloodhunters are going to be able to win decisively there. So really nice place. The Rotflies are here going after my units, going for rear charges, which is pretty strong. I was able to capture the objective number 1 here with my Chaos Warhounds. Pretty nice. I was pretty happy here. We have 2 objectives. The other one, I think, yeah, my opponent has more units on it. The Exalted Bloodletters, though, they're doing their best, even though they were fighting some Furies and these strong Plague Bearers, which might have gotten a bit too much of a buff, I think. Yeah, they're doing whatever they can, though. So objective number 3 is going to go to my opponent. Nurglings are also here as well. Fleshhound trying to deal with Rotflies. We weren't able to deal with the Exalted Unclean one. He used the Fleshy Abundance, and with that he was able to beat the breaks off of these 2 cultists, and without them I don't think the Bloodthirster is going to be able to win this fight. 7000 HP, and the Exalted Bloodthirster has 4000, even 5000 nearly, even though it looks like he has more HP. So with that, I know that I've lost the middle objective. My opponent brought Beast of Nurgle. A lot of Nurglings are here. I sent some Chaos Warhounds to deal with them. I think these guys, no, not the other one. These guys were summoned. Are done, unfortunately. So that means I'm gonna have to concede this point, sending the Fleshhounds to try to hold the Greater Demon here, while my Greater Exalted Bloodthirster is going for the Furies and these Exalted Plague Bearers here. The objective number 1 still ours. The Hounds are going somewhere. I'm not sure where. Yeah, I think I've sent them to go for the Nurglings. I'm trying to hold them in place. But besides all that, I know I can't just leave the points to my opponent. That's why I'm sending some Chaos Warriors here with Halberds. These guys have decent weight, and I don't want my opponent to send all of his units to the other objective. So I'm threatening the middle objective a bit and see what happens there. So the Exalted Bloodthirster is going for a rear charge. He's probably gonna make quick work of these Furies and Plague Bearers. These guys are 2 damage, 2000 HP, and with the buffs which I'm using right now, the Bloodthirst was a misuse, I think. Yeah, I should have used it on charge. But yeah, these Plague Bearers are also done, and I don't think Nurglings are gonna be enough to fight Chaos Warriors and the Bloodthirster there. Some Fleshhounds are also joining to help. So I resummoned one of the Bloodletters here. 83 kills. They already got their Hellblade active. They don't have the animation though, so yeah, that's weird. They usually have an animation when they get their buff here. But yeah, the Nurglings, if it's just them, we're gonna be fine. But we'll yeah, as I say that, the Forsaken of Nurgle is also joining. They were middle, I think. Don't know what were they aiming, but yeah, they're joining here. Even with them, I think the Bloodletters are going to be fine. So we're ahead, but not by much here. Two of the objectives are my opponents. Unfortunately, I just have the upper one, which my opponent is threatening right now. But on the bright side, we were able to capture objective number 3, and yet just like that, we're gonna get 2 objectives, and we're gonna stay ahead from our opponent here. But again, as I said, I'm not just conceding this point. I know if I don't threaten here, my opponent is just gonna move his Greater Unclean one and move him here, and I really don't want that here. So a lot of units, and I think my opponent got close enough so he can cast the Poison Swarm. It's not the Poison Swarm. What's the name of the ability? Blight Swarm, yeah, which reduces the melee defense of all of these units by 20%. Look at this swarm of Nurgle units. This is gonna be a problem. So with the Bloodthirster and Cultist, I made my opponent to stay mid, so I can move faster and try to help this objective, which my opponent caught, by the way, which is pretty frustrating. Some other units moving in, some warhounds. I want some weight on the objective. Look how great these exalted bloodletters are doing. 140 kills. They had around 80. So yeah, they're getting a lot of kills. They're getting chevrons, and yeah, they have racked up a lot of value here. And with a rear charge from the Chaos Warhounds and the exalted bloodthirster, I don't think these demons are gonna stay alive for long. Yeah, the cultist is also joining. The fecundity has been used. That's why these guys are pretty hard to get rid of. So I'm sending the Chaos Warhounds and Flesh Hounds to try to put some pressure here. My opponent was again trying to move to objective number 1. I don't want that. So yeah, that's a win for me. If we get rid of the toads and I'm bringing some more Flesh Hounds, we're gonna be able to recapture this point. The objective number 3 is mine. Number 1 still my opponent, and my opponent is getting really close, uncomfortably close to my points, which is pretty scary. Sending the Flesh Hounds to deal with these Forsaken, they're gonna be able to do it pretty easily, especially with the Bloodthirster here. Yeah, these guys are gonna run pretty fast, and Cultist is killing the Wrathflies, and I think all of these guys are Wrathflies. So what my opponent is doing here right now is he's trying to slow push to objective number 3. He sees that I'm putting a lot of supplies into the units of this side. I'm starting to capture it, but yeah, my opponent sending the cultists here, the Chaos Warriors. Let's see, they're gonna do any damage here. Yeah, they're doing some decent damage here. If my opponent stays here, he's gonna lose the cultist. Yeah, he took a lot of damage, around 700 to 800, which is pretty nice. Again, the objective number 1 has been captured. Now I have to go for objective number 1. Otherwise, this is going to happen. My opponent's sending a lot of units here, and yeah, it doesn't look too good here. I'm sending whatever I have. I don't have a lot of supplies right now, so my only hope is objective number 3. Not a lot of units here. I summon the second cultist, and what I'm going to do here, I'm trying to go after the beast here and then summon some units to try to put some weight on the objective. Let's see how that works out. The exalted bloodthirster is joining in. I think I'm gonna go for the greater unclean one. I'm bringing all the hounds as well, putting these chaos warhounds here to put some weights, but it looks like the summoned unit don't have much weights, much capture weight for the objectives. I still have a lot of units. Look at this. I have these hounds, a lot of fresh hounds, 2 cultists, the exalted bloodthirster. Trying my best, but I think with the fleshy abundance, this unit is getting a lot of healing. If this unit heals to his what's the name of this thing, healing cap, he has around 20 KHP, which is insane. He's doing damage with his what's the name? Yeah, the pestilent decay all this time as well. So these guys are taking damage. The bloodthirster has to move out, go after the toads. I don't want them on the objective. We're pretty close at capturing this, but yeah, it's just weird. I think the summon unit don't have any weight. Just as I say that, with them gone, it looks like my opponent is capturing the point again, which is pretty frustrating. The units have already captured, Nurgle units have already captured objective number 3, and they're trying to move to objective number 2 to secure it. A lot of flesh hounds trying to hold these toads and units in place, but yeah, if you don't capture this by the time they get here, I don't think we're gonna be able to win it. Yeah, my opponent has been able to accrue more not supplies, the victory tickets here. The exalted bloodthirster is doing whatever he can with the help of the cultists. We're dealing with the great unclean one, but yeah, I don't think with the arrival of these Nurglings and my opponent being so close at winning this game. I don't think we're gonna be able to make it. A lot of units are being thrown on the objective, but I think with these toads, yeah, we're capturing it. But even if we capture it, I don't think we're gonna be able to win it. Pretty nice battle though. We were able to keep our lord alive. My opponent did a really great job at keeping his exalted great unclean one alive for the most of the battle. So let's see. The Bloodthirster, exalted Bloodthirster, paid for itself. 26k damage dealt, pretty nice. Look at this value, 1600. This one 2200, insane. These guys did a lot of stuff in this battle. They summoned 2 units as well, by the way, so don't forget that. So these guys, each of them I think around, this one around 2000, this one around 250 to 260 I think. The exalted bloodletters were a decent pick. This one did really good, this one not so much. Maybe the spawn and chaos warriors were not the pick here, I'm not sure. These guys got wrecked. Let's see the reinforcements. This bloodletter did fine, this one didn't. The halberd unit did fine. All of these flesh hounds did great as well, so maybe more of them. I summoned the unit of chaos furies which did fine, but not the best. Let's see the MVP here. 6000 damage dealt, insane. This unit is crazy. It's 43k damage dealt. Yeah, just a great unit against Khorne. The rest of the units, this one paid for itself. The cultist did fine. So I think, yeah, the Furies also did really great as well. Really nice microing and playing with them. And my opponent used all of his unit. GG to Senpai Torpedo. Have to say, really great player. Enjoyed this matchup. Have to say, it's a bit Nurgle skewed, this matchup, but yeah, it's not unwinnable by any stretch imaginable. So yeah, have to say, really strong unit. Try it out. The healings were there. He had a lot of Winds of Magic as well. I think he casted 3 Fleshy Abundance on himself. So yeah, insane. So yeah, that's it for this battle, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you consider leaving a like and subscribing. It would really help me and my channel grow. And I have a Discord server. If you guys want to join, we can scream, you can send me replays to cast, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. So that's it. Bye.